Welcome to the 4080 Laptop Showdown, the Asus G16 Zephyrus versus the Asus G18 Strix. First up, benchmarks. I'm using 3D Mark's Timespy. It's great because it has a varied database of similarly configured machines to compare the results to. Here's the Zephyrus G16. It is a 4080 RTX with a Core Ultra 9 185H CPU and 32GB or RAM. I won't show the entire run as we have a lot to unpack, and I want to keep the video fairly short. Here's the first graphics test. This machine has Armory Crate removed and Q Helper installed. Otherwise it is running right out of the box. So far so good, smooth graphics, decent performance. Now for the second graphics test. Watch the screen carefully. This is where the Zephyrus seems to stumble a bit, as you may notice a few wavy bits here and there. I also noted some slight jittering as it turned corners. Overall though, not too bad a performance. The laptop is fairly compact with a great battery life and screen. Let's look at the results. Not too bad. 14,238 good. The CPU score really hurts here. Also, the GPU is only pulling up to 115 watts, 95 watts, and can get 20 watts boost. While this is fairly low wattage draw for a 4080 laptop, it does help with the battery life and overall power consumption when mobile. The Zephyrus is intended to be ultra lightweight and portable with excellent battery life. Now for the Strix G18. Let's get this benchmark running. We will run the same Timespy benchmarks on this machine. It has an Intel Core i9-14900HX, and the 4080 a TDP up to 175 watts, 150 watts plus 25 watts with dynamic boost. This is where the two machines really show the difference. Notice, not only does the test look smoother, the FPS are a bit higher. You may notice the occasional jitter, but the wavy bits are gone. Some of the elements pop a bit faster. You may still see some artifacts that load a bit rough, but nothing compared to the Zephyrus. Overall, the experience seems a bit smoother and more seamless. Let's look at the results. Wow! The CPU tested at 17,198 versus the Zephyrus 11,669. The GPU tested at 18,254 versus the Zephyrus 14,814. Overall was 18,087 versus the Zephyrus 14,238. Significant. But that doesn't mean either machine is good or bad. The Zephyrus is meant to be portable and draw less power. The Strix is a gaming beast that barely fits in a backpack and draws 60 more watts TDP on the GPU. 115 versus 175. Zephyrus, portable, good battery life. Strix, beast, but I wouldn't count on a long-lasting battery session. But does it make a difference playing a graphics-intensive game? Let's find out with CapCom's Monster Hunter Wilds. First up, the Zephyrus. I'll adjust the graphics to Ultra and turn off frame generation. I've had problems with screen tearing when the frame gen is on. Although Capcom recommends 16GB of VRAM for Ultra with the high-def pack enabled, and these machines only have 12GB, I intentionally ran high-def to tax the GPUs. Both machines will run Wilds with the regular high settings without much issue. Now let's go on a hunt. I chose the Windward Plains in Fallow, as it taxes the machine a bit more than in Plenty. We're going to hunt the Tempered Q Matrice. I won't show the entire hunt, but will show enough to give you an idea of how the machine performs. Keep an eye out for anything you might think out of the ordinary. Remember, I am pushing these laptops beyond Capcom's recommended settings for the hardware. Your mileage may and should vary. Running on high instead of ultra high def will yield significantly better results. The periodic skips and jitters are primarily artifacts of how hard I am pushing the machine. What is significant is that the scenery is loading/filling smoothly, and there is no tearing occurring. Here we are. I hate to break up the party with the rooster chillin' and all, but the hunt is on. Actual fights are a good test of hardware as the scenery and textures are changing quickly. The Zephyrus seems to take this in stride, and I have very few issues. Let's skip to the end of the hunt, as we have one more thing in the game to test, the oil well basin. I have found that moving is that camp seems to tax the frame rates, and will show any discrepancies clearly. As you can tell by now, the Zephyrus G16 is a pretty good laptop that will handle fairly complex titles well. I am driving an external monitor at 1440p, so running on the laptop's internal screen at the high settings should provide you with a decent experience at frame rates approaching 60 FPS. Now you can start to see the laptop get a bit overwhelmed. I am pushing it hard with lots of textures, detail, and ultra-high settings. You see the jitter and stutter build up as the FPS drops. You can expect better results running at the high setting. Would I game this laptop? Certainly. Prices are around $25.99 MSRP, and you can get it on sale at prices approaching the $2,200 USD mark. I don't buy a new laptop every year, or even every new GPU release. I can see the G16 as a road warrior good for today's titles and future titles. Next up, the Strix G18. Let's open the map and select the tempered Q-matrice once again. I select it as a field survey and the hunt is on. Pay careful attention to the secret ride compared to the G16. With the same settings as the G16, Ultra no frame gen. You will notice that even though I am pushing the laptop harder than Capcom recommends, it has significantly less jittering, stuttering, etc. Overall, the hunt looks smoother. Also, FPS is more stable. When fighting the monster, the experience is much the same. There was little to complain about with the G16, and nothing to complain about here. Moves are fluid and smooth. Detail is incredible. Very impressive. For all you stat nerds out there, the G18 barely touched 80C on the CPU, even running Armory Crate. As before, I'll end the hunt a bit early here. Let's head back to the oil well basin and see how it does there. Let's jump off the secret and run around a bit. Let's say hi to Gemma and see if we can get the frame rate to drop a bit. Wow, this is surprising. As you can see, there is very little jitter or stuttering going on. In my opinion, the difference in performance on these two machines comes down to two things. One, the Strix draws significantly more power to the GPU, 60 watts more. And two, the Strix has a better CPU for handling CPU-intensive tasks. If you can't tell by now, my new main gamer is the ROG Strix G18. I don't mind the weight and size. Besides, I managed to find one on sale for $2,159 US. Hope you enjoyed the last 7.5 minutes. If you did, give it a like and subscribe for more Wilds content coming soon.